Hello, my name is Sylvain Rochon. I am the Paradise Engineer. And on behalf of the Alliance, in this case, today I'd like to talk about cultural exchanges and understanding ETs. In past episodes, we've gleaned on this. And when we have a first contact situation with different individuals that would be in an embassy, for humanity's sake, a place that we can understand would have people in there that would be making requests, asking questions, to determine the nature of the relationship that is burgeoning. And of course, our leaders and politicians would like to get something tangible, which is information, technologies, and understanding a lot about where the ETs are from, what their motivations are, that kind of thing, because they have a lot of people in their back thinking about national security, thinking about profit, thinking about boosting their economy versus another country. And it's the whole competitive nature among each other that we have. But most likely our ET friends know about this, and they know, just like we've seen in science fiction, the dangers of first contact and providing such information to a primitive race, which is us in this case. So most likely the pretext of the conversation will be mostly on culture, which is great. Like, we do want to start a conversation with culture and who we are and what our interests are, and trying to get an understanding of each other and how we'll work together at the very least. And we may be very, very surprised about what the ETs want from us, especially because they don't need anything. They're interacting with us for not out of a need, but out of a desire. They want to have a relationship, but they have all the materials possible. They have way more technology than we have. They have access to the whole galaxy and beyond, most likely other dimensions, whatever you can think about. We don't. So we want all to have all that stuff, but they don't need anything material from us. They want to have a relationship. They want to include us into something bigger because we are mature enough to be part of it. That's why they've been watching and kind of letting us go for a long time. If we blow each other up, it doesn't really change anything on their perspective. They may be sad, and on their TV over there, where they're watching the drama of humanity unfold, it may be just the end of the season. But for us, it's really important and transformative. It's a momentous moment in our history. For them, it's probably something that's happened many times with different cultures as they emerged out of the dark ages and became part of the something bigger, like the galactic civilization, galactic council. So we have different names for those, as I hear them. So their thinking is extremely different, and we can't really comprehend it because we're not in that position ourselves. We're not thinking that way ourselves. We're thinking primitive terms. And what we want to do with the Alliance and our partners, we want to change that mindset. We have to move away from this competitive attitude and this protectionist attitude. We have to agree that we are small. We could be annihilated without even seeing anyone, either by asteroids or by other forces we can't really understand, or even extraterrestrials, like with massive technology. They can move a star in the path of the Earth if they wanted to, anytime they wanted, but they don't, because they have rules and they have morals and they have different reasons not to do that. And most likely because they want to have contact, it's because they want us to survive this, and they want our fate to be our own, not something that they would impact. So they're very passive about it and waiting for us. So when we do have a cultural exchange, they know everything about us, basically. We don't know anything about them. So they'll be giving us tools and information, allowing us to try to understand. And we'll have to get over a lot of our viewpoints on planet Earth between each other. Like, we still have a lot of racism and isms on planet Earth. Well, what's more alien than an alien with a completely different structure, social structure, governance system? Anything you can imagine is probably very different. and they think differently because they've advanced in a different path in their civilization and for far longer than we have. So we have everything to learn from them, and they have very little to learn from us. They just want us to include us, really, and help us progress into a next step in our civilization, in our growth in the galaxy. So I think when we come into the room and sit in those chairs in front of them the first time, and even many times afterwards, we have to do it with humility. And we have to ask questions, not make demands, because they know everything and we know nothing in comparison. And we're in a position, we're not in a bargaining position. We don't want to be, really. We want to take whatever we can get and be allowed to see things that we currently are either not allowed or cannot see. So we can learn and be better. And we can develop a new civilization, a new society that reflects what we want to do, and ask for help if they'll provide. And that's how we're going to evolve. It's going to transform whole of humanity in our perspectives, because we'll learn about a lot more differences, and differences that worked over time, over thousands of years more than we have maybe millions of years. So humility is going to be important. And we'll have to broaden our horizons regarding race and culture and ways of thinking. Just like humanity, whoever we're going to meet across the table there is going to be a single individual, not representative of the whole of their whole civilization or race. They'll have as many differences in their own civilization as we have in ours. So that's just one example. And then when we meet others, other individuals of those civilizations, we'll see a variety there too. It'll blow our minds in a good way. So I hope you will be there at the embassy. Cheers.